To complete my Amex Duo on the way to my Amex Trifecta, I just recently applied and was approved for the Amex Blue Business Plus. Earning 2x Amex membership rewards points on every purchase is no joke, especially when you combine this with the other cards in the Amex Trifecta, the Amex Gold card, and the Amex Platinum card. For me, this is the second card I got as part of the Amex Trifecta after my Amex Gold card, and I've been waiting over a week to open this credit card because I just didn't have the right time to do it since my last upload. So I'm really excited to dive into this with you and answer some of the most frequently asked questions on my Watch Me Apply video for the Amex Blue Business Plus. Let's go ahead and start it off with why I got this credit card. First of all, right now I am at 524 with Chase, meaning that I have gotten 5 personal credit cards in the past 24 months, which locks me out from getting any other Chase cards right now. So I've been gardening my Chase 524 status for the past few months. That way I can get myself down back to 424. That way I can apply for Chase Inc. business cards come next year. So the reason that I did decide to go with this card in particular is because business credit cards do not report to your personal credit report. That meaning that I can garden my 524 status and not get any personal cards in the meantime, so that I can drop back under 524 to 3 or even 224 in the next year if possible. Also, since this is a business card and I don't have any other business cards before this one, I figured it would be a good way for me to start building up my business credit report. And since I have heard that Chase's Inc. cards are a little bit harder to get than normal business credit card applications, I figured it'd be good to come in with that with some previous business credit history so that I can show that I'm responsible with my credit cards and hopefully get instantly approved for those Chase Inc. business cards as well. And probably the main reason that I actually went ahead and got this card now is because I'm not spending towards any other sign-up bonus right now. And since Q4 is always the most popular time of the year to be spending a ton of money, specifically on holiday gifts and stuff like that, I wanted to be able to take advantage of all of that spend and put it towards a welcome bonus that will give me a higher return on spend than just my earning categories would on my other credit cards. To hear about my thought process more in depth, I did make a credit card roadmap video that you can watch after this if you'd like to. But now let's go ahead and talk about what welcome bonus I went with on this card. This card comes with 2 main offers right now, the first of which being a 15,000 Amex membership reward point offer after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months of having this card, and the second one being a 50,000 point Amex membership reward point offer after spending $15,000 on this card in the first year of having it. And through a lot of consideration, I decided to actually go with the smaller offer, the 15,000 Amex membership reward point offer, rather than the 50,000 point Amex membership reward point offer, because I didn't want to be putting $15,000 on this one card in a calendar year. The opportunity cost of that is just way too high for me because I know that I could apply for 2 or 3 more credit cards come next year, and I would get way more than 50,000 Amex membership rewards points for doing that. So I don't want to take myself out of the game for that long, considering that it would take me probably the whole year to spend $15,000 on this card. Now, real fast, let's talk about how this card earns. And there's no bells or whistles with this one. It's pretty straightforward. It just earns 2x back on every single purchase up to $50,000 worth of spend in the year. And then after that, it drops down to 1x back. So obviously this card is going to be your catch-all credit card in the Amex Trifecta setup, composed of the Amex Blue Business Plus, this card, the Amex Gold, and the Amex Platinum. Now let me give you a refresh on my data points at the time of applying for this credit card. My last credit card application was in June 2022, so about 4 months ago. And if we look at my Credit Karma screenshots at the day of my application, you can see that my TransUnion score is going to be a 753 and my Equifax score would be a 755. And then Chase's credit journey tells me that I was sitting at about a 748 with Experian. Additionally, I had 2 hard inquiries with TransUnion, 0 with Equifax, and 4 with Experian. Now talking about the application more in detail, what numbers did I actually use during the application process? I'm not going to give you all the exact information because I do want to keep some of this information private, but I will say that I did apply for this card with less than $10,000 in expected annual revenue, less than $500 in monthly expenses, 1 to 2 years in business, and I did the whole application as a sole proprietor and was instantly approved with no questions asked. And one of the most frequently asked questions I had on my Watch Me Apply for this Amex Blue Business Plus credit card was, did you get a hard or a soft pull after this application? And the good news is, since I applied as an existing Amex customer, as I did get my Amex Gold card back in June of 2022, I did not have any hard pulls to any of my credit reports, and it was a soft pull, if anything at all. Absolutely nothing has changed with my personal credit scores even after I applied for this card, which is pretty awesome. That just shows a really good example of why it's beneficial to form relationships with these different lenders, specifically Amex, who seem to take care of their customers pretty well in my opinion. Now it's time for the moment y'all have all been waiting for. Let's go ahead and unbox the Amex Blue Business Plus. So I'm gonna start by just obviously opening this flap here, tearing it down the middle, and hopefully getting it somewhat clean. And I don't know if you would call that clean, but I guess it'll work for me. And I went ahead and concealed a lot of my personal information on these documents that we have here, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about these in depth. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the actual card itself, and I'm gonna make y'all wait until the end of the video for that one. But the first thing that was provided to me is gonna be my Cardmember Agreement, part 1 of 2 at least. And some of the important information, as y'all can see here, is that my credit limit is going to be $10,000, which is pretty awesome. And then in addition to that, my APR on this card is going to be 0% for the introductory period, and then 24.24% after that. Honestly, I didn't even know this had an introductory APR, and I guess it's good to know about that. However, as y'all know, I never recommend leaving any balances on your credit card anyways. So I really never even look at the APR percentage rate on any of my card applications because you want to be paying off your cards on time and in full every single month. Also looking down here at some of the more important fees, you can see that it obviously has no annual membership fee. It also does have a 2.7% foreign transaction fee and some late payment and return payment fees that we're never going to have to pay because we're paying off our cards on time and in full. After that, what we have next is going to be the American Express Business Card Privacy Notice. And this basically shares all the information they collect, what they do with that information, and how you can opt out of that if you do want to. And there is an affiliate sharing notice on the back of this, which basically tells you how you can actually limit the sharing of your personal creditworthiness information within the American Express family of companies. So basically just a privacy notice there. And then after that, we are going to have the summary of additional benefits. As you can see here, it talks about some of the travel related benefits like the Global Assist hotline, as well as some car rental loss and damage insurance, extended warranty insurance when it comes to retail related purchases, and also purchase protections on the back as well. So those are all just some extra benefits that come with this card if you were to apply and get approved for it, which is pretty cool to see. Although I will hopefully never have to use any of those, it's good to have in the back pocket. And then lastly in here, it looks like we have the part 2 of 2 of the Cardmember Agreement, and I don't know if those were put in the wrong order or why they were like that in the envelope, but nonetheless, it looks like we have a pretty good, decent sized book here to be reading through about your card membership agreement in more detail. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take a second to read over all of this for y'all so you get an idea of what is going on. And just kidding, I actually don't want to read through this at all with y'all because that would be the most boring video I've ever done. But this does just seem to have some additional information about your card membership agreement, which makes sense because it's part 2 of 2. And since y'all are at the very edge of your seat at this point, let's go ahead and actually unbox the card itself with this piece of paper right here. So let's go ahead and do the grand reveal. Here is the card in all of its glory. And maybe I should say about half of its glory considering it's covered by the sticker that is on it. But let me go ahead and pull the card off of this piece of paper and then take the sticker off as well to make it a better unboxing for you. And also before I finish doing that, I guess I should say that this piece of paper kind of tells you how to actually activate your card and also how to use all of the digital platforms that this card comes with, like your American Express online account and everything like that. And I'm gonna make a quick stop in my time to actually go ahead and wash this card off because as you can see, it's got all that sticky residue all over it, which I hate. So I'll be right back after I pull a Mark Reese and go scrub this credit card clean. Okay, now I am back, and as y'all can see here, I have the card without any of the stickiness on it, and hopefully that autofocuses. Perfect, so there it is. As you can see here, it looks like my name is actually on here twice, probably because I put the business name as my name, and then went ahead and double stacked that, which is kind of annoying to me, and I might actually ask them to go ahead and ship me a new card at some point, or I could leave it as a subtle reminder that I am my own business, and that's gonna be some motivation for me to keep pushing out these YouTube videos and getting content out to y'all that y'all really enjoy. And if y'all were curious, this is what the back of the card looks like with all my information blacked out, of course. I mean, it's obviously very simple, but the front of the card is where all the action happens. The card itself is definitely plastic, like it's pretty bendable as you can see here. Not the weakest credit card I have in my wallet, but it's definitely not the strongest. I think the custom cash actually might be a little bit weaker than that. But as a beginner credit card, I actually really like the way that this thing looks. And it's gonna work perfectly in my wallet for Q4 of 2022, where I'll be putting all of my spend on it for all of my holiday spend I'll be doing. If you did want to see me personally apply for this card so that you can increase the odds of you being approved, go ahead and check out this video here next. Maybe try to figure out how you don't have to actually put your name twice on this application to have it doubled up like mine is. But at the end of the day, me and Odin both want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we hope to catch you guys in the next one.